Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the comparison of certain cycle accessories. Today what we have in store is two cycle front lights that we have. One on the right is a Btwin light which is available, and the second is 7599, generally a really an unbranded light that we have at the moment. Now we'll take a look at what are the different things that either of these lights have to offer us. What's the pros, what are the cons, and yes, let me also bring that up to everybody's notice that both are rechargeable light, which means you can connect a charger and recharge them, so they do not involve any changing of any kind of batteries. So let's get started with a comparison of these two equipments. So the first light among the two, we have the Btwin out over here. So very simple light. Let's take a look at what are the components. So at the top you have the Btwin branding, and here you have the power on, power off button here. Very simple, you press it, the light glows there, and power off. So if you have a long press, does it do anything? No, nothing. So which means there's no special mode of operations onto this. At the front, this is the place where you have the light, and top here at the there's a small indicator out here, the rectangle, the square part. What you see here is a small indicator which gives you the indication when the light is low on battery, as well as it is also your charging indicator. Now also on the other side there's nothing out where, it's plain and simple. At the bottom you just have the model number, the brand Decathlon out over here, and this particular rubber strap, it's pretty strong, and when you have to tie to your cycle bar, you just got to stretch it a little bit. It's a little tight, so it's being tough as well, so it's a little tight, and that's how you just hook it up onto your handlebars. At the bottom here, this is the port where you can connect the charger to charge this light. And yes, this is a rechargeable light, and as you see out over here, it's not a mini USB, it's a micro USB what you have out over here. And this is not the conventional chargers or the standard what you get with your phones these days, on neither the USB-C. Let me show you how does it look like. Now most of you might have seen that this is the charging cable what you get with majority of your phones, so this would not fit the bill. The kind of cable that you would want to use is kind of this way, and I've connected this to a power bank right now with me, so I'm gonna connect it right now, so it's charging. Now as you see, as this light charges, you see a very red indicator out over here. So this is the indicator which I was talking about, and this means that the light is now getting charged. Now what happens when the light is fully charged? So the whole area out over here turns out to be green in color, so which indicates now that your battery is fully charged with this. So that's how simple is, you let it charge. A few things about this light which I would want to mention, or a few pros and the cons is what, let's put it that way. So the pros being, yes, a very good light, a very basic light, no nonsense, keeps the work going. If you were looking for some small evening rides with not long duration, where you're not going into very dark places where you really require that very good amount of brightness and things like that, this does the job. This is a pretty nice one, and for those people who are going for longer rides in low light conditions, and if you have a different light as your primary light, you could carry this along with you, which can serve as a backup light. Now it's the battery is pretty good, so I've been using this for about 4 years right now. 4 is a little more than 4 years maybe. Now the battery comes about good 6 to 8 hours of battery life. It's got that with that, so pretty nice, does the job very well for me. I've used it in very bad light conditions, or places where there was absolutely no light, so it has done the job for me. Now the only con that I see with this is of course I could say that one that you have to completely remove the setup from your handlebar to get this charged, because the moment you put this, the cable comes this way, so you won't be able to actually charge it. Or you could, but you'll have to change the orientation like this and keep moving it now and then to charge the light. So that's what I see as the one of the major disadvantage. I don't feel it very heavy, though it is comparatively a little heavy, but not so heavy. But that's a good piece of light that you can buy for one. Gives about anywhere between 30 to 50 luminescence, so that's more than enough if you consider the lighting conditions, because they're always street lights and etc. So that is the Btwin light for you guys. So let's move on next to our next product, which is the 7599 light, and let's see what does that product have to offer over this. Alright, so the next product in our list is the 7599 light, which we have available here. Now, something to notice here is this is just not a light out over here. This also comes with an add-on device out over here. This add-on device is a bike horn, or a small horn which comes along with it, which is definitely an added bonus. Now, if you're in those areas or those zones where you have traffic and somebody's not giving you space, you can definitely go ahead and use this, because there are many people out there on the road who tend to ignore cyclists or do not see when they're crossing and things like that. It's pretty much common in places like India. So you can make use of this pretty good one. Let's see how this works and what are the features of this. So very simple thing. It's got a strap buckles onto your handlebar there, and that's how it is. So if you take a look at the top, at the bottom, or anywhere out over here, it's absolutely got no branding, no name given out over here. And also the if you take a look at the dimensions, it's a little bigger in size compared to that of the Btwin what I had. Now for example, if I keep this side by side for a comparison, this looks something like a miniature thing. But of course, let's keep the Btwin aside for a moment. And of course, this is of a plastic build, and what I can say is the plastic quality is not so great. It does not give you that kind of a good feeling when you use this. Now, how's the mode of operations? It's got a power on button here. You press onto this and hold on to this, and that's how the light comes up. Now, it's got multi-mode operations. For example, if I press, it goes into the low mode, and press again, that is another flashlight. And this is your SOS mode also, which is available. So that's how the light operates. So these are the 4 modes that this light operates with, and long press and it powers down. So what are the other features in this? Nothing much more. And here at the back you have the USB port. Now this is a small rubber flap which covers it. So open this, and what you see right now out over here, unlike the Btwin, this is a different charger port that you have, which means I could take my regular or the mobile charging cable which I get these days, which is this pin, and let's go ahead and connect that, and there you go. You see the red indicator light out over there, and that means that the light is now charging. So that's how simple it is for charging. And moving on, as also another part which I would want to mention is, let's power on the light for a minute here. And if you see that there is a red indicator or orange indicator which comes up, which shows that the light is operations, which also gives you an indicator from the side. Now moving on to the horn out over here. That's how loud the horn is. It may sound a little very loud out over here because we are in silent conditions, but on the traffic, of course, this gets a little bit subsidized, but it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. I've been using this for about close to 2 weeks right now, and this has proven to be very useful to me. It's come in very handy. I've ridden in some places in the market area. For example, those people who are familiar in Bangalore with the Banshankari area, That's where the market area, which where a lot of things happen very early in the morning, so where a lot of vehicles clog up the road, and this has been very beneficial for me, very useful to me in those conditions. Now, other things which I would want to say is the pros. Of course, it's got the different light modes out over there. The horn is definitely an add-on, very beneficial. Helps the power, the luminescence of this light is also pretty good. It gives about close to 350 luminescence in the bright conditions, and falls down to 180 in the low light conditions. So, however, the cons are the plastic quality is of not so great, and as well as the strap which comes out over here is not of such a great quality. Now let's take a look at how does it appear in the no light or in the dark conditions. Alright, so here we are testing the lights in dark conditions out over here. First, I have with me the Btwin light. Now let's see how does it operate. So if you take a look at it, that's how bright it gets in the very dark conditions. Now let's take a look at the other light, which is the 7599, and let me power it on, and there you go. See, that's how bright it can get out over there. So it's pretty good, and that's how the light is. And let me change the operations mode out over here, the different modes, and that's how bright it is, and we power it down. So those are the 4 different conditions in the dark conditions, how the light operates. So there you go, you have these 2 lights available for you. One is the Btwin and other is the 7599. It's got no real branding there. So what's your pick going to be? So depending on your use, depending on the conditions that you use, depending on the cycles that you would use, and the price point and everything, considering that into the picture, you can choose any of these 2 lights depending on your usage. So thank you for watching this particular episode of the comparison of the 2 lights that we have done, or the ones that we are using right now. For more content, stay tuned. Please do like, subscribe and share this content, and stay tuned for some more comparisons, some more videos with them. Till then, namaste, adios, sayonara, bye bye, take care and stay safe.